Good morning from the New Hard Middle School, or whatever time of the day it is for you. This is Coast Soccer League match featuring the Mission Viejo Pateadores and the Slammers FC White out of the Brown South bracket of the Coast Soccer League. Hello again, everybody. I'm Greg G.K. Porter for LangevinProductions.com. Let's get the lineups for both clubs here at the home field for the Pateadores. First, their keeper will be Sarah Areola. Number 1 will be Lindsay Perez. Number 2 will be Caitlin Macari. Number 4 will be Morgan Calcagni. Number 5 is Lauren Precioso. Number 6 is Ali Sahargun. Number 8 is Katrina Loy. Number 11 is Abby Estes. Number 13 is Alyssa Gilchrist. Number 14 is Lynette Romero. Number 15 is Taryn Frenzen. And 16 is Cecilia Langlois. The team administrator is Cheryl Estes. The assistant coach is Jessica Gatica. And the head coach is Kevin Ellison. Let's get the Slammers FC, the visitors today, their lineup. The keeper will be Zoe Aguirre. Number 2 is Sydney Little at defender. Number 3 at midfield is Sarah Niger. Number 9 at striker is Emily Johnson. Number 10 at defender is Carissa George. Number 11 at defender is Kayla Kaufman. Number 14 at midfield is Jasmine Esparza. Number 18 at mid or striker is Natalie Houston. Number 21 at mid or defender is Britton Salmons. It'd be 23, it'd be Zoe Aguirre, but she's a keeper, and Anna Rowland is not here. The team administrator is William Salmons, the head coach is Walter Loyola, and assistant coach is, again, William Salmons. We'll be right back with the starting of this match in just a moment.
Make sure you tell them what to do.
The center ref will be Elizabeth Moss, and the linesman will be Tiana Androis and Trevor Shaw. Trevor will be on the far side touchline, and Tiana will be on the near side. So shift colors for all your sailors out there, past and present. We are underway. The Pateadores going from left to right, and the Slammers FC White will be going from right to left in this girls under 10 match of the Brown South CSL. Swept to the far side now for the Pateadores with Perez into the central now. Dangerous play here to save quickly by Aguirre. Making the save on Lynette Romero's bid to try to put it in the back of the net early in the match. The Pateadores have had 4 straight games where they have not allowed any goals, all in blue. They are 3-1-2 in third place in this Brown South division. And the Slammers now in the attacking third, trying to work their offense, and a pass is knocked out of play by the Pateadores. 11 points for the Pateadores. They've scored 11 and allowed 6 on the season. On the other side of the ledgers, the Slammers are undefeated so far in the season. In first place, they have 18 points. They've scored 18 goals and only allowed 2 as it goes past the goal line. And it will be a free kick, a goal kick, I should say, on probably the near side 6 with Precioso. Lauren. Which way will she go with the soccer ball? She's going to strike it towards the far side. And winning it over there is Langlois, pushing it up forward. But that ball is intercepted by the Slammers and pushed all the way back to the defensive third for the Pateadores. Cecilia Langlois will throw it in. Cecilia gets a good throw in. And off the header now. Back to Langlois up in the air. And now here's a strike. The central midfield area. The Pateadores is a quick touch, but now they lose it. Give it away over to Houston. Natalie Houston on the run on her right flank, and it is knocked out of play as the outside defender gets over and protects in the space, and that was Taryn Franzen. The throw in. for the Slammers FC into the 18-yard box. But they stiffen up in the central. The Pateadores pushing it out, but it's back in their box again. But no problem this time for the keeper, Sarah Areola, making a save. Romero, and out Karam's into the central now. The Pateadores is still on it. Loy pushing up forward toward the attacking third, and now they've got numbers there with Romero. Romero now, her pass, and diagonal pass. She's got a teammate over the top of the net that time. Perez, Lindsay Perez, point blank range, and put it up too high. Still 0-0, 25-minute halves in his soccer match from New Hard Middle School. Greg G.K. Porter, happy to be with you with George on the camera. Hopefully you got your nice beverage and you're enjoying this match. Snack. The Slammers FC in their own half. Karam that time off of Precioso, and it winds up on the foot of a Slammers player. And on it now for a run along the near side is Johnson. Emily Johnson's service, and it's just a little bit too deep. And it goes past the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for the Pateadores. 0-0, your score in this match. Pateadores trying to work it out of their own half on the near side. On the run there is Lynette Romero. Romero to her teammate, to Abby Estes. Back to Romero. Romero on the near side. Romero still on a soccer ball now. And her pass toward the interior is intercepted by the Slammers. However, Pateadores still have it, and it winds up over there for a save to be made. They still have a chance, and it is another save, that time by Zoe Aguirre. Zoe Aguirre was able to get to the ball, and it nearly went across the line. And the Pateadores would have scored first. But now back on a counterattack, and a save is made by Areola. So into action here. The Slammers nearly gave up a goal, and the Pateadores had a real good chance, and he just could not. They had numbers there in the 6-yard box, and that last sequence could not put it in the back of the net. Trevor Shaw calls that ball out of play for the Pateadores, a throw in by the Slammers FC. Trevor Shaw, the linesman on the far side touchline. Pateadores now working that ball from the central now to the outside. The Romero sending it toward the attacking third now, but getting over is the Slammers FC on the near side, and that might have went, and it is going to be a throw-in. As Elizabeth Moss seeing it a little bit better for the Slammers FC. The center ref trying to work a play on the near side with Emily Johnson. Emily Johnson has it again. Wins it past the defender. Johnson on the run along the left flank. Johnson, her service. It turns out to be a shot and a save by Areola. Sarah staying with that soccer ball on the low side. And now gives that soccer ball a ride along their right flank for Romero, who heads it. Karam's over to the central. A touch there by Loy. And it winds up on the foot of Perez. Lindsay Perez on a run along the left flank, and she's marked heavily that time by Little. And nice job done by Sydney Little in the space, not allowing Perez to get a good shot. Slammers FC out of their own after the goal kick. Their defensive half trying to get it across midfield. Cannot. Kept in by the Pateadores, and now they have a early ball, and that is to the one who's been making the big plays, Emily Johnson. But no problem that time for Areola being able to make the save with a lot of time and space at midfield. And early ball, but that had way too much pace on it that time for Emily. In the central. Won by the Slammers FC. Nice controlling the soccer ball by Emily Johnson. She waves her way around 3 players, goes to the outside now, and it is knocked out by the Pateadores, the throw-in into the box. And a strike. Strike that time by Jasmine Esparza, and they were able to intercept it. And that was Franzen who intercepted that ball in the central of the box. Esparza, strike again, and then now on it is Romero. Romero wins that soccer ball and pushes it up forward to her teammate. They want to get it out to Perez, but they weren't able to do it as the Slammers reduce the size of the field. And now coming back the other way quickly in the attacking third, right outside the 18-yard box is Emily Johnson. Great move. Johnson tries to make another move. It cannot, as Franzen is able to stop that soccer ball from going any further. But now winning it is Cassie George in the central, but the Pateadores stiff it up in their box. Push it up the field. And retreating back quickly, Sydney Little, and Sydney pushing that ball out of play on a far side touchline. 0-0 is your score in this match from Newhart Middle School in Mission Viejo. The Pateadores throwing it in. In a central, winning it, the Slammers FC. 8v8 if you haven't already noticed at this age bracket. But of course, once they get 11-year-olds, it's going to go 11 on 11. U9s and U10s, 8v8. Going to be a throw-in. Pateadores won 3 games on the season off the header. Header by Natalie Houston, knocking it out of play. Or actually, they say it was knocked out by the Pateadores. Houston is going to throw it in. Natalie Houston from the far side touchline gets a good throw in. Trying to work to Emily Johnson. She's chasing it down. Will she get to it? She does! And tries to strike it again, but it was blocked right there that time as Taryn Franzen was able to get her cleat on it at the last moment. And the central now as the Pateadores work up the field now. And to the outside to Perez. Perez with some speed, trying to beat Little, and she does. And a central, trying to get another touch is Estes, and then a shot, and a save is made by Zoe Aguirre. Zoe protecting the near post, getting it upfield. Winds up to Estes. Estes want to work back out wide to Perez, and it had too much pace on it. And it'll be a throw-in for the Slammers, the far side touchline. They get it in, try to work it up the field now. And standing there in the space was Franzen. Getting it going back the other way to Perez. Perez has some speed along the left flank, but so does Sydney Little. And Sydney protects, covers well in that outside defender position there. However, it's going to be a corner kick. Lindsay Perez will take it. Lindsay going to sweep it upfield. Has her teammate there, Langlois, and it's intercepted. Here's Johnson, and a stand-in tall right there in the space. Nicely done that time by Franzen. And now down to central as they try and work against Little. They still are trying to work down to central with Perez. Perez, another strike on it. Perez, a shot, and it nearly was carried into the net. But that time, not enough on it that time as Romero a bid to try to score. Both keepers have played well in this match so far. Hope you're enjoying this match. On LangemanProductions.com, we'll have videos for YouTube. Here's Johnson, a bid and a save going down to make the save that time was again Areola. On the near side, it goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in, and it's 0-0 match. You get a good look right there of Carissa George. George throwing it in. Try to get it to Johnson. Johnson back to George. George try to get an early ball back to Johnson, but had way too much pace on it. And now here's Romero in the central with her teammate Estes. Estes try to work out wide to Perez, but she never got it. And now in the central with Esparza. Esparza going to work it out wide. Chasing it down is Salmons. Salmons back towards Esparza, but it had too much pace on it that time. Ritton Salmons trying to work that ball back to Jasmine, and she has the right idea. The goal kick. Not a lot of substitutions in this match so far. If we actually don't have any. And usually by this time there's already substitutions. But we're used to some interesting things out of the Coast Soccer League so far in 2010, as we've already seen a match where one team scored 9 goals. It is the all-time record for George Langevin Soccer Productions. Down the central, the Pateadores trying to move upfield. They're not going to be able to. There, standing tall there was Houston. And down the central, Johnson trying to get to it. It can't quite do it, as protecting there in the space was Lauren Precioso. Precioso got to it first that time. Otherwise, Johnson had a great chance. Here's Johnson again on the near side. And this one will go along the side of that net. Goal kick for the Pateadores. A team that has been very hard to score against lately. As I mentioned before, have not allowed any goals in their last 4 games. Substitution now for the Pateadores. Morgan Calcagni is in the match. In the central now. Johnson trying to go get it, but it will be pushed upfield off that touch by Romero. Romero getting it out to Perez. Perez looking for Romero again. She does strike it, and a save is made that time. Zoe Aguirre able to get to the soccer ball, ranging to her left. And a nice little play by Perez and Romero. And Romero was able to touch that soccer ball in net and try and direct it toward the far post, and nearly was able to do it. Romero has been dangerous in this match for the All Blue, and she's had help by her 2 outside forwards or midfield players, depending on how they set it up. And an offsides call. It's going to be a free kick for the Slammers FC. Setting it up is Kayla Kaufman. And she's had a lot of work to do back there in the back with Sydney Little. Carissa George on the near side. Johnson now. Nice strike off to Karam. And it goes back up the field, the Pateadores, but they ran off the soccer ball that time. As nicely done that time by Natalie Houston in the midfield. Goes out of play. And Trevor Shaw says it's going to be a throw-in by the Slammers FC, the linesman. And it is driven out of play along that far side touchline to throw in again. And coming in, the substitution is going to be Sarah Niger. So Sarah Niger is coming in, and it looks like she's going to be playing that outside defense position. Either that or a midfield, as she can play. Depends on how they want to set up the configuration. And strike there by Kayla Kaufman in the central. Esparza to Johnson, and she just couldn't quite get the strike on it. As right there in the space was Taryn Frenzen.
Jasmine, get on top of that goalie.
Both teams have played very good defense in their 18-yard and 6-yard boxes in this match. That's why it's still 0-0 in the first half. Off the carom, it goes past the goal line off the Pateadores player. I believe knocked out by Lauren Precioso. Emily Johnson from the near side, the CK in-swinger. In that 6-yard box at Pateadores, Johnson gets another strike, and a save is made by the keeper that time.
Good job, Nate.
Pateadores now having a problem there, and in a 6-yard box, and it's knocked out by Langlois. Cecilia in the space, trying to protect on the outskirts of that 6-yard box. The throw in, Slammers FC still trying to work their offense. Any attacking third, but it comes out. But now here's another strike in the box, but it's going to be awry of the net. Carissa George just trying to get somebody to run onto it, but she had way too much velocity or pace on a soccer ball. The Pateadores in this 0-0 match. On the near side, they get it started with Johnson intercepting. Johnson pitching in. It gets a couple of players. Gets it over to Esparza. Takes a shot. It's blocked, and Johnson can't get to it. But it's lastly knocked out off of her body. So it is now going to be a goal kick. As Tiana Androis, the linesman on the near side, sit with her flag. The Pateadores trying to get it upfield as they've been in their own half here the last few minutes. They push it out wide. Will it stay in? No, it's going to go out. And it's going to be another throw-in for the Slammers FC, keeping them in their own defensive half. On the far side, they move it towards the interior, and a save is made as going over the keeper that time was Britton Salmons. It's going to be a CK. Jasmine Esparza is going to take it from the far side. Will she swing it in or swing it out? That soccer ball. Left foot in swinger. And it is going to be knocked out again by the Pateadores. And it's going to be another opportunity in the attacking third. The Slammers FC, the throw in this time. Time running out here in the first half in this 0-0 match. The throw in. Pateadores, they did not touch it, so it is going to be a goal kick. Goal kick for the Pateadores. Setting it up, Lauren Precioso again. Substitutions from the far side as they get some fresh players late here in the first half. Number 8, Katrina Loy. And on the wide side, Emily Johnson again on that side of the field. She normally is on this side trying to make something happen as she switched over there. And on the far side, along the far side touchline, it goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Pateadores, who have been playing in their own half the last few minutes. And now they get an opportunity to work against the Slammers FC. And how long will they be able to do that? As the Slammers FC continue to keep that ball in their defensive half. And now on a soccer ball is Calcagney, and couldn't do anything with it. And it's going to be a goal kick. Another chance for the Slammers FC to work it in their own defensive half. And that's one of the things you don't want to have happen in the world of soccer. You don't want to play a lot in your own half. Abby Estes. No, correction on that. Kayla Kaufman. Kaufman now going to work it out along the right flank. Looking there for Salmons. Salmons couldn't get to it, but now our teammate has it, and that's Niger. And winning it is a Pateadores. The Central Slammers FC. Pateadores in the midfield. Still on a soccer ball. Stopping it nicely was Calcagni, and she changed their direction. Nicely done, controlling the soccer ball along the near side. But Calcagni runs out of room. Throw in a Slammers FC. Emily Johnson showing her strength of foot there. And Emily Johnson along the near side. And that ball was out of play. Center ref calling it out. It's going to be a throw-in for the Pateadores in their own half. Maybe about a minute unofficially left to go in the first half. In a morning that is warming up here in Mission Viejo. On another one of their warm weekends that have been here in the fall. Down to Central, Emily Johnson, but there is Esparza, and she directs it right at the keeper. But Jasmine's shot wasn't too hard for the Pateadores keeper. Areola, and here's Johnson again. Johnson's going to push it past the goal line. Will they get another opportunity? Maybe not. In the first half, we'll see. The Pateadores. Frenzen. Taren Franzen from the 6. Which way will she swing the soccer ball?
There we go, Jeff.
Franzen, upfield, intercepted. Pateadores, though, they win it. Calcagni on the right flank. Intercepted that time. Nicely done by Kaufman. However, it went past the goal line. Looks like it's going to be a CK. Pateadores. Maybe the last big chance here in the first half. Katrina Loy will take it. Loy in its 0-0 match. In swinger, goes past a couple of players into Central now. Slammers FC come out with it. Out of their own half. Can they continue upfield? As getting in the way was Precioso. She chases it down. And they both collide as Salmons and Precioso go down. And that throw-in is going to be for the Pateadores. And Precioso and company try to get one last chance here. Up the field. Taken away by the Slammers FC. Their midfield being strong there and pushed across the field on the near side, the Pateadores. Out of play at the near side touchline. A throw in, and there's the end of the first half of action here at Newhart Middle School in Mission Viejo. You will see the action at halftime, and we will be right back with this exciting Coast Soccer League match in the girls under 10. Stick with us. here at Newhard Middle School. Hope you're ready for the second half of this exciting Coast Soccer League Bronze South match in a 0-0 match going left to right. In the second half is the Slammers FC White, and the Pateadores are going from right to left. Both teams have had opportunities to put it in the back of the net. And the Pateadores probably the closest to getting it in the back of the net in the first half. But it can be a tale of two halves. We'll see how it goes. The Pateadores in central now. And it's a strike by Carissa George. George to Johnson. Johnson strikes it along the side of the net. She'll be on the far side of your picture here, unless she moves over to the near side for the Slammers FC. She did that like once or twice in the first half. But primarily you're going to see her on that outside as a striker coming down. Off the goal kick. The Pateadores, who had Romero be very dangerous in the first half, pushes it out wide to Cal Cagney, who played ladder in the last few moments of the first half. Shoot! Slammers FC continuing toward an attacking third, but no numbers there. And so here's Perez. Perez trying to move upfield. With it is Salmons. Britton Salmons.
Nice.
Here's a strike down the central by George. Johnson had an opportunity there, and it is an offsides call either way. But a nice strike by Carissa George. She had the right idea, trying to work it over to Emily Johnson. Pateadores in this 0-0 match here in the second half. The opening few minutes, trying to work out of their own half of the field. They had a stint in that first half where they could not get the ball out of their own defensive half. Now they got to play again along the right defense there. The ball struck toward the central. The Pateadores trying to move it upfield, but right there is Sydney Little pinching them in. Falling down there is Perez as she tried to go up the field, and it is now going to be a throw-in, though, as that ball went past the near side touchline. The Pateadores now out of Mission Viejo here in their home field of field. Intercepted by Salmons out of play on the near side touchline. A throw-in by Langlois again. Going to be a throw-in. Cecilia will try it again, just inside her own half. Trying to work it up to Perez, and then in the central there. Or who can play, mainly plays in that central, Romero. But she works all over the field. 8BH, you can see that a lot. Not really same sort of positions that you'll see when they get 11 years of age. Primarily. Still working those types of things.
Go, Brittany! Nice!
And it's central. Strike.
Header!
Chasing it down is George. George working to her teammate. Pushing it up forward, 50-50 ball. And it winds out of the wide side to Johnson. Johnson cuts it back. Johnson still on a soccer ball. Johnson protects it again. Will get around two players. Here's Emily Johnson, a strike, and it goes past the goal line and the back of the net. Emily Johnson attracting defenders in her space. A dangerous player for the Slammers FC White. That's why they're undefeated. One of the reasons why they're undefeated. But then again, defensively, they're very tough. Have only given up 2 goals in the season so far in their 6 games. Out of their own defensive 6-yard box. Slammed right back toward the keeper. But no problem for the Pateadores keeper, Sarah Areola.
Good job,
Running onto it is Salmons. Salmons off the carom. Salmons staying after it, but getting it to it first was Loy. Katrina, nice play. Katrina out wide to Cal Cagney. And Morgan will have the opportunity to move forward toward the defensive third as her teammates will throw it in.
Okay, go.
Loy, the diagonal, over to the near side, the Slammers FC trying to keep it in, and they're just able to do it that time with Salmons. Push back in their own defensive half. Slammers FC now in the central, working that ball over to Houston. Natalie, who was there in the central there, and out to the wide. Cal Cagney chasing it down. Morgan now on the soccer ball. Cal Cagney along the right flank, trying to get it to her teammate, Romero, but it was knocked out by the Slammers. It'll be a throw-in, and they're working at an attacking third now. The Pateadores in blue. Knotted up here in this 0-0 match here at Newhart Middle School in Mission Viejo. That ball going out of play. Cal Cagney watching it go out, not touching it, making sure the Slammers FC have to play defense as the Pateadores will throw it in. Substitution is coming in, and we will mention any substitutes as they come in and touch that soccer ball. On the wide side, protecting the space with Precioso, but couldn't do it as Emily Johnson is streaking past. Johnson now will throw it in as it was knocked out of her progress along that left flank.
Jasmine, Sydney, get it.
On the near side, and it is knocked out of play. Chasing it, pushing it upfield was Katrina Loy, and it went off her foot. Sydney Little throwing it in. In the central now, that's a mess. 1v1 with the keeper, and a save is made. And she'll retreat back. Coming down was Romero, and Romero a bid to try to score, but Aguirre saves the soccer ball back the other way. Now with Johnson. Johnson strikes it, and it will go beyond the net as she was at a weird angle. However, it was knocked out by the Pateadores, and it'll be a corner kick. Indian action here. Newhart Middle School grounds at this Coast Soccer League match from the Bronze South bracket of the girls under 10. Slammers FC from the far side, touchline, the in-swinger, but the keeper is able to make the save for the Pateadores. Areola, Sarah pushing it upfield. Staying after the soccer ball is Lloyd, but it's intercepted by Little. However, they go out wide. Can the keeper get to it? She does. They get it. Zoe has played well, and her most precious save in this match was the one. It was 1v1 versus Romero, making a beautiful decision. Bridget Salmons on the near side. Salmons strikes the ball, and it'll go past the goal line. Salmons was marked heavily in the space that time. Couldn't do much with that soccer ball. From the 6-yard, the Pateadores in a 0-0 match. Strike it up the central, intercepted by Emily Johnson, controlling it. Strike back to Johnson, and a save is made by Areola. Areola, both keepers have been very good in this match. Must have been a handball, and now it'll be a free kick. Midfield area, center circle. On this field, the markings are not very visible, so you just kind of go with, or if they were visible before, and you got the rain this week, they've gone away, haven't been remarked. Going to be a throw-in.
Go back. Bridget, do the tuck thing. Go to the midfield line.
Intercept the Slammers FC now out of their own defensive third. Working in that midfield area now, but the Pateadores have a runner on the near side, and that's Loy, Katrina Loy, but retreating back nicely is Salmons. Britton Salmons getting back into space and protecting against Loy, a turn there to try to get a dangerous play on a keeper. The Pateadores from the near side, playing in their home field.
Let her crash. Let her crash. Cover your zone.
In this 0-0 match. The set piece here. The in-swinger, it's deflected. They get another strike at it, and they got a strike that time. Abby Estes able to strike it towards the keeper. But Zoe Aguirre making the save. Now it's a dangerous play. Here's Johnson. Johnson! Another strike on the side, that time by Ariola. Johnson trying to beat the keeper as she came off her line, and she was able to dive at the soccer ball. And you see why they have been very stingy, if anything, giving up a goal lately. They haven't given up one in their last 4 games. Here's Britton Salmons. Another offensive chance here. The set piece. More of an outswinger. But can they get somebody to run onto it? Cannot. As the Pateadores in their own half, they've got it. And they push it upfield to Romero. She's been dangerous in this match, and she diagonal past it to Abby Estes, and she didn't get it. Pateadores at midfield. They work it again. They win it. Over here to Romero. Romero getting called for a switch, and she switches it out wide to Calcagni and takes a shot and a save, no problem for Zoe Aguirre. Yeah, on the central, nice intercept that time by Loy, and Loy chasing it down and goes down, and no foul. It'll be a throw-in. At this age, more of an incidental contact. Cecilia Langlois will throw it in for the Pateadores. They work it up to Romero, Lynette Romero, and it's intercepted in the box. Pushed out of play past the near side touchline. But Romero will get in that box and try to create problems for the Slammers FC. Cecilia Langlois trying to get the big play against the visitors. The strike, it's a tough one. It goes just over the top of the net. Abby Estes, a bid that time to get the first goal of the match, and just struck it a little bit too high and far. Zoe Aguirre, the keeper, has been fantastic in this match. She's going to give way to one of her teammates to strike it. Out of the 6. If I mentioned the 6 and the 18, they are not actually that far away. It's only figurative. They have to be marked off, though, because of the things that happen. A shot and a save! That time by Ariola. Another opportunity, but Ariola says, I found a way to be a good keeper and make it from good to fantastic. And so far, for the Pateadores on the season, she's been more the fantastic part. Comes over, ranging off to her right. And it's going to have to be a great strike to beat the keeper for either team, or it's going to have to be a coordinated play as the way it is panning out so far in this match. In this 0-0 score. Not because either team cannot put it in the back of the net. It's just that both teams have played great defensively. They've had great keepers in this match. Coming in now is Jasmine Esparza for the Slammers FC, the throw-in. Slammers FC, a fantastic soccer club in Southern California. But the Pateadores is another fine soccer club in Southern California, too. Just ask the teams that are coming from the other states. They know. Throw it in. That time by Sidney Little, looking for Johnson, the dangerous one, and it is going to be a substitution as both coaches have realized we're going to keep fresh players in. We've got to keep the attack going. The defenses are too stingy, so we've got to keep fresh players to come at them. And that's what they're doing. Wholesale substitutions for the Pateadores. We'll mention them as they touch that soccer ball. Now in the central now, that soccer ball, 50-50. Who's going to win it now as it comes down? Esparza and going out towards the wide there. Niger. And Emily Johnson is chasing it down, and it is going to be a throw-in off of Johnson. Pateadores trying to work up the field, but nicely done by Carissa George, intercepting it, not allowing the progress. Throw in by the Pateadores. Carissa George again in the space. Can't win it, but now she wins it. A strike up field. Trying to get Johnson to run onto it. You know she will. Gets around two players down the left flank. Emily Johnson still on the soccer ball. Johnson still there. Johnson is run off the soccer ball that time by Taryn Franzen. Franzen protecting into space. They wouldn't allow her to turn. She wanted to turn that time, but they wouldn't have any of it. The Slammers FC now on the wide side here in the second half. In this 0-0 match, Greg G.K. Porter, happy to be with you with George on the camera. The save by the keeper, Areola. Areola knows how to protect that soccer ball from a rebound. But it doesn't mean the Slammers FC are not going to continue to try it. Salmons was trying to go up the field. Here's Little. Gets it to Salmons. Salmons on the run on the right flank. Salmons still on the soccer ball. Britton Salmons pass intercepted. Out of the 18-yard box. Here's Little now. Redirects it to her teammate. And they come into central. A collision. 50-50. And it goes behind the net as Salmons still was able to get a strike on it. Salmon showed her toughness in the space. Still was able to get a strike that time. Down to maybe 6 or 7 minutes left to go in the match. The Pateadores down in central, intercepted though by Esparza. Be a throw-in. Will it go down as a 0-0 match? Another tie for the Pateadores. Or will it go down as another victory for the Slammers, who have won all 6 of them so far in the Coast Soccer League season this year? 2010. From their 6, Langlois. Intercepted by Johnson. Touched that time by Macari. On the near side, chasing it down is Sahargan. And it goes out of play. Diana Androy says it's out of play, but the youngster's still playing on. The linesman says, bring it back. Slammers FC will throw it in. On the near side, it's out of play. The Pateadores will throw it in. Langlois, and it goes out of play. Langlois, Cecilia, setting it up. A good throw in, but intercepted. Nicely done by Salmons in the space. Langlois will gain some real estate. She throws it in. Into the 18-yard box. Salmons, the 50-50 ball, still a strike by Langlois. And it is going to be off of Langlois. Slammers FC is going to throw it in out of their own half. And you don't want to play in your own half for very long as time running out in the match. The Slammers FC not wanting to do that. Salmons, as was touched that time by Little, actually. Sydney, upfield. There's Salmons. Little trying to get to it, can't. Little still staying after it. Here's Salmons, and it goes out of play. Off her foot. Throw in by the Pateadores. Still along this left flank, trying to work a play. Knocked out. Maybe 3 to 4 minutes left to go in the match. Slammers FC and the Pateadores all tied up. 0-0. 0-0 if you don't know what nil means in soccer. In the 18-yard box, Little. And it goes out of play on the near side. Great action on the pitch, but it's slowed down here in the last few minutes. Here at Newhart Middle School, where it is warmed up. Going to be about in the 80s before it's all done today. Cross midfield, Langlois. Try to get it around Johnson, she did. But yeah, now Salmons gets the soccer ball. Salmons to Johnson, the dangerous one. Into the box, the outskirts, and they both fall down. And let's see what a call is going to be.
No call?
It goes past the goal line, and the center ref, Elizabeth Moss, says it's going to be a goal kick. Not a foul. Close. And now we have a player on a Pateadores is smarting on her knee. And a center ref calling to get the sub's going to come in, and they may have to come over and help her out a little bit. In a 0-0 match. We'll be right back. Precioso coming into the match. Lauren Precioso was a player that was injured. And I guess Abby Estes came in the contest. Abby Estes, number 11. Langlois. Cecilia. Just moments left in this match. Langlois trying to get it upfield. Intercepted, though, that time by Jasmine Esparza. Esparza worked into the central, looking for Johnson, and she doesn't get to it. Too much pace on it that time as Areola makes a save. And heading it down that time is Kaufman. Out wide. They go back for their opportunity here. The Pateadores back up the field toward the attacking third. Sydney Little working over to Romero. Romero intercepts it, but getting to it that time was Franzen. They continue to try to push it up the field. The Pateadores says we'll take another tie. If it has to come down that way, we're not going to give you a big opportunity to score. They've proven that in this match. But the Slammers continue to put the onus on trying to put one in. A couple of players leaving now for the Pateadores. Macquarie and Gilchrist leaving the match. A couple players coming in for them. We'll mention them as they touch that soccer ball now. Salmon's a strike. Cross midfield on the near side. Center ref will be looking at her watch soon. Throwing it in at Slammers FC with Little. And that ball goes over to Niger down into the 18-yard box. Here's Johnson. It cannot get to it. As getting to it first is Areola again. It's going to be a goal kick. Langlois from her own 6. Center ref looked at that watch. You know it's close now. Maybe only a very little chance for either team. It's trying to get over to Johnson. It doesn't wind up there. It's protecting that time was Estes. Moving it out of her 18-yard box in the central there and pushing it past the goal line. It'll be another set piece, and maybe this one will be the last one of the match for the Slammers FC on the near side. Don't have a lot of time. Here's Esparza. Jasmine's got to strike it well. Again, another look at the watch. Esparza on the outswing of it. And now here they come with Romero. They go up the field. A big chance here. Here's Calcagni. Morgan Calcagni. A save that time by Aguirre. Calcagni trying to go after it. And there's a double whistle. That is the end of the match. The save. That time by Aguirre to keep it the 0-0 match. The Pateadores says we'll have one last try at it, and they just would not be able to get it in the back of the net. As Zoe Aguirre says, if you don't score, we don't score, you're not going to score. And that's the way it ends at Newhart Middle School. We'll be back with interviews and closing comments from the young ladies who participated in this Coast Soccer League match. Greg Porter back here at Newhart Middle School with the keeper for the Slammers FC. And you are?
Zoe Aguirre.
Zoe, that last save, what were you thinking when she came down at you like that? And you knew it probably was her last chance.
I just wanted it to be a tie.
And you came off the line. You've been doing that. You've made some great plays in this match. Is that what they teach you as being a keeper, to cut off the angle, and if there's nobody else to help you, to come off your line and cut off that angle?
No, not really. I just do it myself.
You just kind of learn what they're going to be able to try to do, and you just come at them, huh? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's great keeper play, and you're learning it at a young age, so maybe this will be your position as long as you play soccer. We'll see what happens. Talk about outside of soccer, what are the things that you like to do?
I like to be midfielder.
Okay. It's fun to be a midfielder sometimes, control the play?
Yeah.
Okay. Move the ball up the field and everything?
Yeah.
All right. At school, you have a favorite subject or a favorite teacher over at that school?
Yeah. My teacher's name is Miss Cook, and she's like the nicest teacher.
Okay. And what grade are you in?
5th.
All right. 5th grade. All right. So one last thing you'd like to say to anybody watching this video about the season?
Just, I'm going to be here all along again. Nobody can score on me.
Nice job, Zoe, and good luck the rest of the season.
Okay, thank you.
All right, another Slammers FC player, or 2 or 3. And you are?
Britton Salmons.
Okay, Britton, you had to play in the defensive half and in the midfield area a lot. Talk about this match.
I'm glad it was a tie, and the whole team worked really hard, and especially the goalie. She saved all the goals and stuff, so yeah, I'm really proud of her.
They're a fun team to play, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. One of the girls were on our team last year, and that was Cece. So Cecilia on the other team.
Langlois?
Yeah, she was on our team last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was fun to play her.
Right, right. So you guys might see them again in a playoff or cup match or something like that, right?
Yeah, probably.
All right, and then it'll be in a different field, and it'll be exciting, no doubt about it. Well, because you guys are undefeated this season, and even this is a tie. You may not be undefeated, untied, but you're undefeated, so that's got to be a lot of fun. Talk about when you're not playing soccer, what you'd like to do around the house. You have pets or anything like that?
Yeah, I have 2 dogs. One is a Whippet and one is a Yorkie. So, yeah. And I had a lot of fishes, but they died.
Oh, okay. Maybe you'll get some new ones.
Yeah. I also like to skateboard out
Okay.
in my driveway. It's like a little private drive, and there's lots of hills, and I like to skateboard down them. And sometimes my friends come over and skateboard with me, so it's fun. Yeah, that's what I pretty much like to do, and outside of soccer.
Okay, well, I just got to see my grandson near a skateboard park. He was swimming, but, there's a lot of kids playing, doing the skateboard thing in Poway. When you're at school, what is your favorite subject or what is your favorite teacher there?
Probably my favorite teacher would be my 2nd grade teacher. She has liver cancer now, so she's not gonna make it, but she was probably my favorite teacher. She was really nice, and yeah. And my favorite subject would probably be math. It's really fun.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just copy it down from my teacher shows us stuff in the book, and then we have to do the problems, and it's actually really fun.
I tell you what, that favorite teacher will always be remembered in your heart. I have some teachers I've never forgotten, too. Good luck in the rest of the season. Let me talk to your teammates, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And you are?
Emily
What's your last name, Emily?
Johnson.
Okay. Emily, trying to make things happen for your team up forward. It was a lot of fun today, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was maybe their best save or their best defensive play? Talk about it. Can you remember it? Where you really thought you were going to score?
I did have a little breakaway, but the goalie blocked it.
Okay, all right. Well, I tell you what, it seems like you're probably the person that scores a lot of the goals for your team, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of the season is going to be fun because maybe this was the only time when anybody's going to get close to stopping you guys. If you continue to play this way, I mean, you guys haven't lost yet. Is that the way you feel? Do you feel that you guys will probably maybe run the rest of the table and not lose?
Yeah.
All right, good thinking, good thinking. Talk about things outside of soccer for you. You got pets and things at home.
I have a rabbit,
Okay. What's the rabbit's name?
Thumper,
Okay.
and I have a fish,
Okay.
and, well, I like swimming.
Okay. All righty. Good deal. Good deal. As I mentioned before, my grandson, he's a swimmer too. So when you're not doing those things at school, talk about the best part for you at school. Favorite subject or teacher?
Well, I like PE. I like science.
Okay. Good deal. No favorite teacher?
Well, yeah. What's my 2nd grade teacher?
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. All righty. Let me talk to your teammate, and you're?
Sarah Niagara.
Okay. Sarah, talk about this match.
Like Britton said before, Cece on the Pateadores was on our team last year, so it was kind of fun playing her.
Yeah.
So
Has she improved, or is she about the same?
she improved a lot.
Okay, all right, good deal. Good deal. When you're not playing soccer, talk about what's the favorite thing at home for you?
Reading
Okay.
and swimming in my pool.
Any certain books or whatever type of subject?
Not really.
Okay, just anything you can read, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, at school, favorite teacher?
I don't have a favorite teacher. All my teachers have been really good.
Okay.
I like math a lot.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Girls looking at camera, anything you lastly would like to say?
Hi. Hello.
All right. Good luck in the rest of the season, girls. Here with some more of the Slammers FC, and you are?
Kayla
What's your last name, Kayla?
Kaufman.
Okay. Kayla, talk about this match.
They were hard to play, but
Okay. All right, they were a good team, and they were pretty tough in trying to keep that ball out of the back of the net. Looked like you guys had opportunities.
yeah, Emily did really good,
Okay.
and she tried to score a lot.
All right. Yeah, it was a great match. When you're not playing soccer, what is your most favorite thing with your family to do?
I like to play with my dog and jump on my trampoline.
Okay, what kind of dog is it?
A golden retriever.
All right, those are beautiful dogs. At school, what is your favorite subject or teacher over there?
I like science, and my favorite teacher is Miss Yamaguchi.
All right. And what grade is that?
5th.
All right, good deal. Let me talk to your teammate in the Central, and your?
Natalie.
Natalie, what's your last name?
Houston.
Okay. Natalie, talk about this match.
They were a really good team, but we were better.
Looks like you guys going to have something for them the next time you play them, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was a great match to watch. It really was, up and down the pitch. When you're not playing soccer, Natalie, talk about things at home for you.
I like jumping on my trampoline.
Another trampoline person.
And I like drawing. And yeah.
What's your favorite animal to draw?
The dog.
All right, good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Okay, at school, what's your favorite subject or teacher at school?
I like my 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Selby, and my favorite subject is math.
All right, math is great. Let me talk to your teammate to the outside, and you are?
Carissa.
Okay. Carissa, what's your last name?
George.
All right. Carissa, talk about this match, this whole season. You guys are undefeated, untied so far.
Yeah, it's fun to be on an undefeated team. They're really nice and good.
Yeah. Your team has a great way of making it tough for the other team to score, but you also put a lot of pressure on them to score. And you guys have scored, I believe, 18 goals on the season and only allowed 2 coming into this game. What does your coach tell you guys before every game, or is it a certain thing that you guys, routine that you guys practice to get you ready?
He just tells us to try our hardest and all that.
Okay, all right. And no special routine or thing that you guys do to get you guys warmed up? You know the name of it?
We do this,
Okay. And that gets you warmed up, huh?
I guess.
All right, good deal. Okay, when you're not playing soccer, what's the most favorite thing with your family to do?
I like to read and watch movies with my family.
Okay. What's your favorite movie?
Kicking and Screaming.
All right, I bet that's a great movie. All righty, at school, what's your favorite subject or teacher?
My favorite subject is math, and my favorite teacher is Miss Horn, the one that I have right now.
Okay, good deal. Hey, girls, look in the camera and say anything you want to say to your parents or anybody watching this video.
Hi. I don't have anything to
Okay,
say.
well, girls, good luck in the rest of the season, okay? And the two, not last but or least, and you are?
Jasmine Esparza.
Okay. Talk about this match, Jasmine.
Well, the Pats were a really good team, but I believe that we're about the same.
Okay. All right, so in other words, you guys may have another way of attacking them the next time around, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, they've been really tough allowing anybody to put it in the back of the net, but we know that you guys can score, so I hope I'm around for that next match, and if I'm not, good luck on that one because it's going to be great. Talk about things around your family that are fun for you or enjoyable.
Well, sometimes I like to play with my brother, and then when my brother has to do homework, I like to play with my dogs.
Okay, what kind of dogs?
I have 3 Chihuahuas.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And when I get tired of it, I just start riding my bike.
Okay. And what kind of bike you got?
just an original bike.
All right. Good deal. It's a lot of fun, huh? Going up hills or down the block or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What at school, do you have a favorite subject or teacher at the school?
My favorite subject is science, and my favorite teacher, I would have to say, is Mrs. Murlock. She's my 5th grade teacher.
What's your favorite science project?
Well, I would have to say working about the cells of animals and dissecting flowers.
All right. That's great. Let me talk to your teammate and your?
Sydney Little.
Sydney, talk about this match. You guys playing great all over the pitch, and just talk about it a little bit.
Well, it was really fun and it was exciting, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys thought in the second half you were going to put one in the back of the net, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right. But they've been playing pretty good defensively, and you got to give them a little credit, right?
Right.
But there's still a lot of the season left, and who knows how it'll be the next time around. I'm sure you guys have something different. All righty, well, when you're not playing soccer, talk about the things you like to do with your family or pets or whatever.
I like to rollerblade, and I like to ride my bike, and I like to draw a lot.
Okay, what's your favorite thing to draw?
I draw just different things every time. I don't really care.
All right, good deal. Who's your favorite subject or who's your favorite teacher?
I probably like my 2nd grade teacher the best, Mrs. Relaford. And my favorite subject is probably history.
All right. Great things with history. All right, girls, take a look at the camera and say one thing to anybody watching.
Bye!
Wish us luck.
All right. Sounds good. Good luck, girls, the rest of the season. I will wish you luck. Greg Porter back here with Walter Loyola. Walter, talk about this match.
Very good. The girls try, not only today, every game. This girl play like everybody last 3 years together, like a school. Everybody like a baby, like a 7. Right now is under 10, and very good future. Our club is one to the best in the country, and this grow, everybody maybe in a couple 4 or 5 years, everybody play in college, everybody play a couple 4 or 5 maybe national team. I'm so happy coaching this group. It's like my growth for 3 or 4 years, and the club very good.
Walter, where's the flavor coming from? What country?
I natural Argentina, but I born in Argentina. I play pro in Brazil and Argentina. All my life in soccer, and I'm so happy. I live in California. I'm so happy working to these beautiful ladies and beautiful family. This is our family team. It's no problem working for the little one world champion. It's more future player.
Walter, that South American flavor, I know they're going to come out the way you say they're going to come out down the road, and I can already see it from here. This was one of those matches where the Pateadores have been very stingy allowing goals. Obviously, their coach has done a fine job, too. I know you'd like to get another crack at them, maybe in the cup, right?
I know. You know, never known soccer. Soccer is like a life.
Yeah.
It's every game is different. Maybe one game, never know. Soccer is like a life. Our player is, every game is try to win, but nobody signed the contract for win every game. Nobody in the world.
I love the way you express it, Walter. Hey, nice meeting you.
Thank you so
Good luck in the rest of the season. And that's going to do it right here from the Newhart Middle School, where you saw the final score was 0-0 in this Coast Soccer League match. I want you to take care of yourselves. God bless. And as I always say, for George Langevin, I'm Greg G.K. Porter saying, save this one on the hard drive. Bye now.